Welcome back for another video, and today we're going to be talking about the new for 2020 Rogers 3-Man Goosebuster blind. Now last year that is the A-frame that I hunted out of, but this year this is the 2020 version and it's got some serious upgrades that I'm very excited about. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to set this up, give you guys a quick overview of the new blind, show you guys some of the new stuff for it this year, and then I'm planning on mudding this thing up because I never did that with my other one. So I need to do it with this one, so we're going to tackle that today. So stick with me, this blind is pretty dang cool. Also, if you're wondering about this hat, this is the new Flyways Collective hat. We're selling these to help raise some money for everybody to get together in December. We're really excited about it. We're excited about selling the hats, getting you guys some merch. So take a look at the new logo, the Flyways Collective logo. It's like a duck in the letter F. So I thought it was pretty neat. We went through quite a few logo designs and finally settled on this one. So if you guys want to pick one of these up, right now when I'm filming this video, they are not on the website, but they will be soon. So check out the flywayscollective.com. Also, Spooniesbro and Mallardsbro hats are back in stock on my website. There's a link for that in the description. This is the smallest this blind will ever be in its life. Normally, they're about twice as big because of all the grass. The poles are made out of circle tubing, aircraft grade aluminum. They upgraded the bungees inside. The poles that hold them together, they are now a braided cable, so they will not break. So that's really nice. Now check this out. This is something I really like about the Rogers blind that other blinds don't have. So look at this. This end is facing that way. This end is facing that way, but since it's circle tubing, you just rotate it and it lines up. So no more confusion with your buddy when you're setting this up. It may look like there's a lot of poles, but these are really simple to put together once you get all the pieces snapped in. What takes the most amount of time is actually just putting the poles together. Okay, so we've got 3 different pieces on the blind when it comes to the framing. So this one is the bottom side piece, and then on that you connect all the other pieces. So you gotta find those 2 pieces first. And there it is. Okay. And then there are 4 pieces like this one. And they go in like that. So for those of you guys who are interested, I am going to be doing another video over on the Flyways Collective channel, and I'm going to be talking about the differences between an A-frame and a layout blind and tell you guys kind of what I think, what are the best uses and things like that. So if you guys are interested, head over to the Flyways Collective YouTube channel and check that out. Okay, I've got the frame all set up here. I want to go through it like bit by bit with you, showing you guys the little differences between this year's and last year. So it's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is the connectors in between these gaps when you fold them down is, instead of a chain, that is a braided steel cable. So that's gonna hold up pretty well and not break very easily. And then the other difference that I've noticed is on last year's blind, this piece right here, that used to come all the way up to here. But now this year, this piece down here stops here, and then the top bar piece comes all the way down here, and there's a button that holds that in place, so then you can pick up and move the blind wherever you want to go. So that is the main difference. The blind does come with these little pieces that go across the top, and I don't use them. They do kind of make it a little sturdier, but I just like not to use it. I don't like ducking under these things when I'm moving through the blind, and I don't know. Just one more piece kind of lightens the load when you got grass and stuff on there, having 4 less poles to deal with. Let's go ahead and put the cover on now. So here we go. We've got the covers on, and there's a few differences between this year's version and last year's version. The most notable one is definitely the color. Last year, the Rogers blind was in a Max 5 pattern, but this year it's in the Rogers brown, which I actually like the brown blind more. And so if you think about it, whenever you're using a blind, the camo, it doesn't necessarily blend very well. But when it comes down to like a brown color, you're gonna blend in with the dirt on the ground. You're gonna be rubbing mud on the cover of the blind anyways. So I personally prefer having a brown one. If there's gaps and stuff, it's not as noticeable as if it was a camo pattern, because camo, it doesn't necessarily work in all situations. So brown is definitely a good color, and it covers a lot of bases. We got a bunch of stubble straps for grassing this thing in, and this year they added pockets halfway up. So if you got shorter grass, you can go ahead and slide that into that pocket, and it's going to be able to cover this part of the blind. There's also pockets just like this guy on the bottom. So either you got really long grass, you're wanting to drape it over the top, or you've got short grass and you're just trying to get some good coverage. This will kind of hold everything in place as well. So really good stubble straps, and when this thing is grassed up, it looks awesome. So come on over here and check out the inside of the blind. So the inside of the blind, there's a few differences here. One, they've got the Rogers logo on them, which that's pretty neat. It's got pockets. Now last year, one cover had pockets. Now this year, both sides have pockets, which I'm super happy about. These pockets come in so handy, whether you're keeping shells in them or your cup of coffee. I mean, you end up putting a lot of stuff inside these pockets, and I've hunted out of blinds that don't have pockets, and then stuff just kind of gets scattered everywhere. But if you guys are curious, an energy drink can get held in here perfectly and not spill. So another thing is different this year that I don't know if you guys will be able to tell with this camera angle, but there's a little piece of cover that comes under here and holds everything tight. So it's got a good tight hold on every corner. Now this next one is something that I'm really happy about. Instead of the doors meeting in the middle, like most A-frames do, this year they've made them so then they overlap with each other. So everybody who hunts out of A-frames knows the struggle of trying to keep the doors closed. And you know, I've been very guilty of pretty much every time I hunt out of an A-frame, I don't buckle the doors really. So these are overlapping, so then even when things are grassed up, you won't have that giant gap in the middle showing everybody on the inside, and the birds won't be able to see you. So that's a nice perk. Along the top here, there's really big Velcro straps that hold this thing on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last year there was only 2 of these big ones and a few little ones across the top. These big ones hold a lot of weight, and they're gonna keep everything nice and tight. So I'm really happy about this. The improvements that are done on this, they are actually really good. I don't have anything negative that I see about this blind to tell you guys about, so I've got one other thing to show you about this blind that's new. Now the new thing for this year's blind that I am just super happy about is this. Now this is a gun rest, and they slide onto the pieces in the middle here, and these things are actually pretty neat because you can adjust them all different kinds of ways and it'll hold pretty much any gun. So it comes out, you can have it up high, you can have it down low, you can just fold it up, get it out of the way, and then to disconnect it you just loosen this, pop that out, and then you can fold it up inside your blind, put it back in, tighten it down, and your gun rest is working again. So it comes with 3 gun rests and no more fallen guns. That's one of the biggest things about A-frames that I'm always scared about, and it's happened so many times, is guns sliding and falling. I mean, when you have a loaded gun and it's not secured and it's falling down, that's not a good situation. Last year I would always stick my gun like between the cover and the thing here, so then if it did slide it would catch, and that did it pretty well. But these gun rests, I think that's a huge upgrade, and it's going to really upgrade the safety inside of a blind. Overall length of the blind is 100 inches. It is 60 inches wide, so by the doors it's 60 inches wide, and then from bottom to top it's 50 inches if you guys are curious. And I will leave a link to the Rogers website in the description. You guys can head over and pick them up. They're on sale right now for $299. It's a great deal for a great blind, and you guys will not be disappointed with it. But now I gotta get this sucker mudded up and make it lose a little bit of shine. Whenever you get a new blind, you want to rub mud on it, and it'll kind of knock off some of that shine that it's got and help it blend in a little bit better. So let's get after it. Mudding a blind is pretty easy. All you need is some dirt and some water. Well, I got one side done. Let's see if I can't get my camera too muddy. But yeah, there's what it's gonna look like after it's mudded. So that gives you a better color tone. I mean, you can see the difference between the Rogers brown and the mud. Once the mud dries, it's gonna be pretty close. But what it's doing with the mud is it's taking the plasticky shine off of this. So it's gonna make it more of a duller color, more earthy, and it's going to help you blend in a little better. So you should do this on every blind that you use. She's done, and it looks pretty good. So some of it's still drying, but you can see in the spots that it's dried. I mean, this is probably a pretty bad spot because of I missed some spots, but that's going to happen. But you can see how it's kind of dulled down the color. So like here is the color of the blind, and it's just kind of put that kind of haziness on top of it. And so what's going to happen is when it's grassed up, it's going to look pretty dull. There's not a lot of shine coming off of the plastic nylon in the covers. So it looks really good. I'm ready for this thing to dry out so I can pack it up, but it's a lot of work. I was thinking while I was doing this that I probably should have taken the covers off and then done it on the ground. Probably would have been a heck of a lot easier. So if you guys are looking to mud your blind, take the covers off and lay it on the ground. It'll be a lot easier. But that is the new Rogers 3-Man Goosebusters blind. Pretty slick blind, and I can't wait to hunt out of it. I totally recommend it. I hunted out of this thing last year. It's solid, it's lightweight. You can pick it up and move it really easily. I mean, this is my favorite A-frame that I have ever used, and I've used quite a few different kinds. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to go check out the video I'm doing on the Flyways channel, be sure to do that. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a like, follow me on my social media. I've got Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook, and I will catch you guys on the next video.